Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Tuesday, the 5th of October 2021. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to use the Cosmic Tarot today. In these daily tarot readings, I try and get a sense of what the day's energy is all about and how you can work with it to get the best possible outcomes. So let's see what this day is all about and what's available to you. Let's have a look. First card is the Star. Wow, I haven't seen the Star in a long time. That's really interesting. Next, we've got the Nine of Swords. Okay, that looks promising. And then finally, the Two of Cups. Okay, so we've got a really mixed bag here today. So it's important to pay attention and to see what's going on and to be adaptable and flexible as things change. First, the Star card it shows you a woman who is pouring this water away. So she's detoxing and she's letting go of negative emotions. She's connecting with her true authentic self. She's willing to make herself vulnerable, to face her own difficulties, how she can work through them, overcome them, and really find some beauty in herself and in the world. And it's through that process of forgiving yourself and eliminating the negatives that you can reach towards something higher, and you can discover your own talents and skills which reside within you. And what's also influential in this whole process is we've got the Star here, and in this deck it's a Star of David. That's very interesting. If you look at an astrology chart, a Star of David appears once in a blue moon. It's really, really rare. It's two trines. A trine is a big blue triangle, and another one intersecting it to create this six-pointed star. And it's a symbol for mysticism. It means that the universe is speaking to you and you have the ability to listen and to receive that message and to integrate it and to work with it. The light then points down here at planet Earth. So the insights that are being given have a very significant impact on your practical circumstances, on your life as it is. So it's not just about detoxing negative emotions and feelings. It's about looking at your circumstances and saying, this no longer works for me. So I feel that you reach some sort of significant breaking point when it comes to your practical circumstances as they relate to work or your physical health, your daily routine, how you live, where you live. And you realize once and for all that I've been trying to make this work and I haven't really realized that. But today there's an epiphany that's telling me this no longer functions for me. It's time to let it go. It's time to ask myself what I find beautiful and endearing and positive, and how can I bring more of that into my life, and how can I move towards it. We also have a ray of light connecting with the moon here, and that's super interesting because tomorrow on the 6th of October we have a new moon in Libra. I made a video on that. It's already up on the YouTube channel. Have a look at that video if you'd like some more information in terms of the astrology. A new moon is an energy that urges you to start again. It gives you a lot of pioneering drive and ambition and a sense of independence that I can do things if I take control and if I take charge of my life and my circumstances. And it's so interesting that this is coming up already, and it's actually quite on point because the new moon is when the moon is totally dark, but it wanes down towards the new moon and you'll have a little crescent, little sliver of the moon still visible, I suppose, the day before. So this is saying that we're moving towards this new moon, but you already have access to the energy. So you're really focused in terms of what you want, who you are, what works and what doesn't work. And it's not something that you have to analyze particularly. It's something that resides within you. And there's a certainty that doesn't involve thinking. It's something that you feel. Next, we've got the Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Swords is negative circumstances piling up to make you feel like you're under attack or you're overwhelmed. So swords is the element of air that has to do with perspective and thinking. And each one of these swords is flying in, and one is even piercing him, and he's really in a state of despair, obviously. And that's often what it can feel like, even if the circumstances aren't that difficult. Some days you can get an unwanted bill, and it's like, oh, I didn't really want to have to deal with this right now, but it is what it is. I'll just pay it, and that's the end of it. On other days, you read something like that, you open the letter and you see the bill, and you completely overreact, and it's the end of the world. And the Nine of Swords is a card that says your reaction to circumstances may be blown out of proportion, and you may be susceptible to catastrophizing things and seeing them as much more ruinous and difficult than they actually are. It feels like you don't have the skills and the wisdom to deal with what's going on. You feel like you've been betrayed, possibly, like something has come up which is negative, and only you are subject to this kind of negativity. So it paves the way for self-pity, and I'm the only person on planet Earth who has challenges and problems. So the Nine of Swords is a card that says, try not to catastrophize what is going on in your life, and also try not to logically reason and make sense of everything and to try and get everything in order, because there's a lot on your plate. What I'm getting instead, what's going to be much more productive, is to surrender to your circumstances and to accept what's going on, and to realize that you can deal with certain things as they arise in a steady, constructive, and non-emotional way. There are certain things you can let go of and which you can put to the side. And if it feels like it's too much and there's no huge sense of urgency around it, then maybe you can look at it tomorrow and deal with it then, when you're feeling a little bit more grounded and less likely to overreact. And finally, not to feel that you're being attacked and that this is a deliberate thing that's come into your life via some sort of malicious force which is out to get you. It's really not the case. Difficulties arise in everybody's life. It's about how we deal with those difficulties. But if you waste your energy on saying, why did this happen to me? Why am I the only one who's being subjected to this? Then you're wasting your time, and rather than dealing with the problem, you're going into a state that will make you feel worse and worse and worse, because there's no real answer to that, and it's not true to begin with. If you feel like the universe is out to get you, then you're going to feel much smaller and hard done by. It's much easier today to accept things as they are, to realize not everything's perfect, but that you can let it go. And that your true joy and strength resides up here somewhere, not down here on planet Earth, and that really you're not as vulnerable as you may initially assume. So by not catastrophizing and taking care of yourself, you get to the Two of Cups, and we've got a very romantic scene. So first of all, you're able to be there for yourself and to nurture yourself through any challenges, and that's really the best thing you can ever do. It's no good telling yourself scary stories that make you completely freak and feel terrified. Be there for yourself. Realize that you don't have to solve every problem in your life on this day. And by keeping a constructive frame of mind and focusing on the positives and the beauty that resides within you, you'll be able to attract people who are like-minded and who may be in the same situation, and you can work together to solve certain problems. So make sure you reach out for help, you ask for support. That's going to work in your favor, and it will make the process easier to deal with. But also, it seems unlikely because you've got a lot on your plate here. But by being loving towards yourself, you amplify that energy and you raise your vibration or your frequency. And it's even likely that someone else who has love for you, so someone who you're already in a relationship with, or a new relationship may appear. And that's the real surprise of the day, that among all of these seemingly difficult circumstances and things going on, something really wonderful appears that you couldn't have expected. So we've got all these flowers here, and they look a little similar to the lotus flower. The lotus flower appears at the top of the pond once it's worked its way through the mud. So by working your way through the mud, supporting yourself and doing your best, you get to a place of completion and emotional equilibrium and security. And that security is not something that's trivial. It's really important because it can lead to a loving experience or moment that's truly healing. It can lead to a new relationship blossoming and flowering. And that makes sense if you're talking to someone or you're in a situation where you don't know people very well and something really dramatic has happened, like you've just got stuck in the elevator and you go into a meeting and you're like, oh my goodness, I was stuck in that elevator for 3 hours and forgive me everybody, but I might be a little bit flustered in that meeting. That isn't great, but it opens up a conversation. It's a real icebreaker, and someone who can relate to that experience may then come up to you and speak to you, and it may be the beginning of a really great new relationship that stems from some sort of a difficult circumstance or something that was perceived to be difficult. So be open-minded, because the day may surprise you in unexpected ways, and you may end up in a really positive situation at the end of the day that you could have never expected. So the most important thing is to be there for yourself and to be your own best friend and to support yourself through any difficult circumstances. We've got the star, which is 17, and 2 is 19, and 9 is 28. 2 and 8 is 10. 10 reduces to 1 in numerology, and 1 is the vibration of the magician, and in the tarot, and in numerology, it's the pioneer, it's the boss, it's the person who does things of their own accord. The magician is able to create wonderful, unexpected things because he downloads spiritual information and energy. He translates it on planet Earth and can end up with outcomes which are truly magical, but he does it himself. He doesn't logically try and make sense of things. He receives information from something bigger that empowers him to be a pioneer and to be independent and to wave a magic wand and to transform circumstances beyond recognition. And that's what the day allows you to do. You're able to take circumstances and things which appear impossible and hopeless and wave the magic wand as such to get a completely different outcome. And that is magic on planet Earth, the way we can access it, to start here and to end up here in completely unexpected and unplanned ways. So make sure that you remember who you are, you connect with your higher self, and that you put yourself first on this day. Because the number 1 really puts you at the forefront. And if you're not going to support yourself or make the day about you, then you weaken your strength as such, and you may feel like you're a victim of your circumstances, and you're not tapping into this magical ability to transform. So don't miss out on that chance and that talent that you've got on this day. So I hope you have a fabulous Tuesday. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on Book Your Reading to audio reading with me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and share the video online, please. That would be great. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.